WWE Raw is moving from TV PG to TV14. This was announced earlier this week. Go ahead and check out this clip from Wrestling Observer Live, Figure 4 Online, Brian Alvarez, talking about the deets, and then I will catch you on the flip side to break it all down.
The PG era of Raw is over. Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men podcast, our own Andrew Zarian, reported Thursday Raw will be moving from a TV PG rating to TV 14, beginning with next Monday's episode. July 18th, Raw will have a TV 14 rating moving forward on USA. The PG era is over.
And this goes into effect immediately. If you're listening to this, Monday Night Raw is now PG-14. I do think this will be a game changer for the WWE. It doesn't fix any inherent problems that they already have as far as really shitty booking ideas, booking philosophies. It's not going to fix a lot of the crap that they're already doing. The 50-50 booking, the fuck finishes, all that goofy stuff is going to continue to go on. You're still going to be bored to tears. But this could open up the door for some talent to seize the opportunity, and that's where the opportunity lies for Raw. I don't think Vince McMahon, as a creative head of WWE, is going to suddenly just be a fucking creative genius just because he's got a little bit more wiggle room in the language and violence department, in the sex department. And we all know Vince loves the sex department, right? If he can get his divas back out there crawling around on all fours in bras and panties, he would. He would. But this opens the door for a lot of the talent to excel. Specifically, like take a Cody Rhodes, for example. We know he likes to do the old, he likes to do the little thing up there all the time. In AEW, we all knew going into the WWE that was just not going to be something that Cody was going to be able to do. Well, maybe now he can. Now, Alvarez did say in that segment that I listened to there that you caught a clip of that this doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be tons of blood now. That the reason that there was no blood is not necessarily because it was PG. So it's not like you're just going to just see guys bleeding everywhere. But I do think you'll see it more. I think there's an opportunity for that to happen now if Vince allows it. He could still have a no blood policy. He's called it barbaric and blood and guts, as the War Games match was named after Vince McMahon ripping on AEW for being a blood and guts promotion. Will WWE become a blood and guts promotion? If they do, even a little bit, this is going to very much help out a Cody Rhodes, for example. So I think he's one person that can benefit from this. Another person I think that will excel in a PG-14 environment is going to be Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins has a bit of an edge to him that hasn't been able to come out since he's been with the WWE. I think a guy like Seth Rollins can tweak his character in a PG-14 environment and take advantage of the extra leeway that he has to really crank up his character. And I really think that we're going to see some cool things from Seth Rollins going forward, taking advantage of this PG-14 environment. Another person that this greatly benefits, and this has been something that I have said from the beginning, that if MJF were to jump ship over the WWE, he's going to be seriously watered down, and he's going to lose a lot of the things that make MJF MJF. Now, I've always said that he is talented enough to adapt to the WWE style. He'll be watered down, but he'll still be the best version he can be in WWE regardless, because he's got the skill level and the talent to adjust on the fly. I don't think he's a one-trick pony where he needs all the swearing and all the bullshit to get himself over, but it helps. It helps to make him an edgy character. It helps that the things that come out of his mouth are things that you're just not supposed to say out loud. especially in this era. And I think if he were to jump ship and WWE were to acquire the services of an MJF, I think that PG-14 environment's going to be perfect for a guy like that. And honestly, this whole move could be built around a fucking guy like MJF, you know? Make it your life's goal to sign an MJF either in 2024 or if somehow he gets let out of his contract early and this isn't a work, which it is with MJF and AEW, then certainly that's going to be a big feather in the cap of the WWE. In the PG-14 environment, like I said, it's not going to make Vince's creative better. It's just not. In fact, it could end up being a little bit more cringe. You know, he could end up doing a little bit more dirty sexual things that we just don't need to see, regardless of if PG-14, doesn't matter. It's not going to fix Vince's booking problems, but it will allow talent to be a little bit more to allow talent to be a little bit more edgy is going to open up a lot more creative outlets for some of these talents to really take it to the next level. I could even see a guy like an Austin Theory taking advantage of a PG-14 environment. I could see him getting a little edgier. Not everybody's going to be edgy and raw, you know, but there are select guys that this is going to benefit greatly if they are allowed to cut loose a little bit more. So I'm interested to see how it plays out, how long it lasts. Are we heading into a new attitude era of sorts or a ruthless aggression era? Obviously, it's not going to be as big as it was back then, or, you know, we don't have the star power that we had back then. But I do definitely think that because it opens the doors to more creative outlets for the talent to express themselves in different ways, some of these talent are going to rise up. And you're going to even see, I would expect to see some talent shine where they weren't able to shine before. I think we're going to see some talent in new light where you're like, oh, okay, shit, I'm a fan of that person now. I think there's going to be a little bit of that too. So we shall see how it plays out and how long it lasts and how they're going to utilize it. You know, what else are they going to do besides, you know, is it going to just be, you know, you get to say shit in your promo a little bit? Is it going to be that there's going to be a little bit more sexuality? Will we see more violence and blood and guts? Blood and guts. We'll see. We'll see. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on the PG-14? You know, we've been talking trash about this PG era for so long. You know, oh, it's PG, it's PG. I don't like the PG era. It's boring. Another fun thing that kind of occurred to me is that wrestling seems to go in cycles, and it goes with they're very good. WWE is great at following their age groups, right? So like, when Hulk Hogan was on top in the 80s, wrestling was pretty much PG. It was a cartoon. It was a living cartoon. They literally made cartoons. But as the little Hulkamaniacs grew up and became teenagers and stuff, the wrestling industry got edgier and the Attitude Era was ushered in and Hulk Hogan was a bad guy. And those fans that were little Hulkamaniacs grew up to be the rebellious fans in the Attitude Era. Those are the same kids. And then the industry went full circle. Those people kind of aged out a little bit in the Ruthless Aggression era. And then WWE started targeting, once they transitioned from the Ruthless Aggression era to the PG era, they started targeting kids again. And they moved it to a kid-friendly format. And this is obviously for advertisers and that sort of thing. But when they were able to do that, they were able to bring in a whole new fan base of kids again. But guess, you know, with the John Cena era, John Cena had a lot of little kids following him. But guess what? Just like with Hulk Hogan in the 80s and all the little Hulkamaniacs, all of John Cena's fans are kind of growing up and becoming teenagers now. A little bit more edgy, a little bit more rebellious. So wrestling has evolved with its fan base. It's going to grow up. WWE is going to grow up with the fans that were fans as kids for John Cena. Now that they're teenagers going into adults, Raw is going to follow them in their age group. So it is kind of smart. I don't know if they're looking at it like that or if that's their reasoning at all. I don't believe it is, but when you kind of look back at it historically, that's exactly what's going on, and it's going to benefit them, I think. I think we'll see a little bit of an uptick in the ratings. Again, it's not going to fix the booking, but it will allow talent to be a little bit more, give them a little bit more leeway to do their thing and be more creative. And I think the fan base is going to be much more receptive to it. But again, we shall see. And with that said, I'm just going to move on, and we're going to go to the next topic.
Oh yeah, thanks for checking out the video. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like it if you liked it. Yeah, and you can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on the channel. Oh yeah, dig it.